shit, yeah, they bread stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an...
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Mad Matty Fight Talk. We have some huge, big breaking fight news coming from the Bkfc Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. They have a main card going down in London on August 20th for Bkfc 27, which is going to host the main event of Mike Platinum Perry taking on Michael Venum Page, the MVP from Bellator. What a fantastic matchup. Now, stylistically, this is something that's going to be super creative. It's very unbelievable to have a straight brawler in Mike Perry, some guy who's willing to just go in there into the firefight, taking on a very elusive, a very creative, and dynamic striker from MVP. Now, the big problem for MVP in this fight is he's only going to be able to use his hands, so he's not going to be able to use all of his tools. But he has taken boxing matches in the past, and he has fared well. Mike Perry recently signed with Bkfc at the beginning of the year. He took a fight against Julian Lane, dating back to February 19th of this year. He ended up getting a W in a decision. I mean, it was an absolute war. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll try to get the highlights in the description so you guys can check out that fight. But Mike Perry and Julian Lane, they went to absolute war. If you guys aren't familiar with Julian Lane, there's a highlight of him on YouTube. You know, let me bang, bro. I just want to bang. Like, go look it up. You'll know right away who I'm talking about. But that dude's a banger, man. That was a straight war between two heavy hitters. Mike Perry's 14-8 in MMA, 1-0 in the Bkfc. Now he's got 11 KOs as an MMA fighter. So that's with gloves on. I mean, Bkfc, if you guys aren't familiar with these guys, they pretty much wrap their hands, and it's a bare knuckle fight. It's exactly what it says in the championship promotion. These dudes go at it, lots of blood, lots of cuts, and lots of fucking KOs. It's very, very fun to watch. Michael Venum Page, on the other hand, he's 20-2, 12 KOs. He's coming off of an interim title loss to Logan Storley recently, May 13th of this year. Him and Storley went at it. Storley was grappling him to the ground, really trying to avoid MVP striking, which he did a good job of doing. So Michael Page is going to get a chance to show off those fucking hands in this fight. I believe, I'm not too confident in saying this, but I'm pretty sure Michael Page has taken some glory kickboxing fights. So this might, I don't know if it was boxing or kickboxing, but he's definitely going to be getting in the ring for a boxing match. I'm very fascinated to see what game plan is going to work. Obviously, we know how MVP fights, and obviously we know how Mike Perry fights. Two completely different aspects of the fight world. You got Mike Perry, who's a straight brawler, steps into the firefight. He's throwing bombs. He's throwing haymakers the whole time. And then you got somebody like Michael Page, who's very dynamic, very elusive, extremely hard to hit, fights very long, very creative with the way he sets things up, switches stance, you know, does all kinds of crazy shit. And that's why he's a fan favorite, because you never know what you're going to get with that guy. So the big thing in this fight is obviously going to be the reach, all right? Michael Page is 6'3" with a 79-inch reach. Mike Perry's 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. Now, that might not play a factor, but considering it's a boxing match and Perry, you know, he throws himself out there, I don't know if that's going to fare well for him with a guy like Michael Page, who's so elusive, so good at cutting angles, and has such a long reach. I mean, the game plan to winning this fight, if you're Mike Perry, is close the gap, head on his chest, work the inside the whole time. You want to be as close as possible to this guy. You don't want to give him any space. If Mike Perry can stay on the inside and he can close the gap consistently and work off of his jab, I think he might have a chance here. And on the flip side of that, if you're Michael Page, I mean, do what you do best, baby. Stay on the outside, be dynamic, toy with him, switch stance, use your long range, your heavy straights, heavy uppercuts. The dude's freaking dynamic when it comes to his striking. I know I keep saying that. I'm beating off a dead horse here, but the guy really is, man. He's extremely creative. I'm just curious to see how he's going to bring his creativity into a boxing match. When you have so many weapons like takedowns, you know, clinch fighting, flying knees, head kicks, front kicks, that kind of shit, you have so much more tools in the bag. The only thing really favoring Mike Perry in this fight is that he's already had a boxing match, and he's had the experience of no gloves on. Getting hit with those things is a lot different than getting hit with 4-ounce, 12-ounce, whatever. So the thing that's going to favor Perry is he has the experience of being in that circle and already going through a war in that kind of environment. Mike Page, on the other hand, he's coming off of an MMA fight. I mean, I'm sure he's very hungry to get in there and to throw some bombs on somebody when he got pretty much just out-grappled his whole last fight. So it's very interesting. It's coming up soon. We're about 71 days, 19 hours, and 48 minutes away from this. And I got this from the website, so I know I'm accurate with that. I'm very curious to see who's going to establish their game plan, who's going to establish dominance. I love both of these guys. I've had the pleasure of watching Mike Perry live. When Daniel Cormier knocked out Stipe the first time they fought, he was on that fight card. He fought Paul Felder, and it was an absolute war. I mean, those guys threw down. So it made me a fan favorite. I was a fan before that, but it made me love Perry even more and respect his style. Michael Page, dude, there's nobody who strikes like this guy. If his hands are as clean as how he makes them look in MMA, if he can bring that to the boxing realm, he might seriously give Mike Perry some problems. Now, if I, as a betting man in this fight, if I'm betting on this fight, who would I take? I'm going to take Michael Page because I do believe that I think he's a more creative and a better striker, and he's a lot more accurate than Perry. I think Perry likes to throw himself into bad situations. Although Mike Perry has an iron chin, I think it will be tested early and often. And for somebody who hits from the center of gravity, from using all their power every time they strike, I think Page is going to land one clean on the chin, and he is probably going to knock Mike Perry out. I'm not saying that with confidence because Perry's a tough motherfucker, and I love this guy, and I hate saying this, but I do believe that Michael Page is going to knock him out. You're talking about a dude who knows how to use his range, knows how to stay on the outside, creates angles, uses every tool in the bag. I mean, with that being said, I'm definitely taking Michael Page in this fight. But like always, guys, hit me in the comments. Let's argue about who you guys think is going to win. Are you guys going with Platinum Mike Perry or the MVP with Michael Venum Page? Let me know. If you guys haven't yet, like this video, hit me with a subscribe, man, and I'll see you on the next one.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an